This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, and welcome to episode 1 of the Edmonton Oilers franchise mode here in NHL 21. Teased earlier this morning by doing the ratings, roster, whatever you want to call it, for both the Oilers and the Bakersfield Condors. Now it's time to get into it. Video number 4 of the day. She's been a busy day here on an off day from work, but let me tell you, this is it. This is all unless there's breaking news. So let's get right into it. Build your dynasty ahead of us. Franchise mode NHL 21. The improvements, they're fun. You know what? The mode was better last year. It's a lot better now because of the trade deadline stuff, and you can have a lot more fun with this. And we're going to have some fun, but we're going to try. And you see it right there. Try to get McDavid the Stanley Cup, the NHL 21 franchise mode right there on the thumbnail. Oilers Dynasty episode 1. This is it. This is the beginning of what we are going to try and take on a run here over the next several months as we wait for Edmonton Oilers hockey to truly return in real life and get us going, hopefully, in that dynasty direction as we all very much so need to see happen. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins especially. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, right now is your time to hit that subscribe button. I have to pitch this because this is not regular content on the channel anymore. Way back when, once upon a time, it was. Nowadays, we cover Oilers all day, every day, the real life Oilers. And let me tell you, it's a good time. If you want to stay up to date with the Oilers news, you want to have a little bit of fun in franchise mode, get in here, get the subscribe button hit, leave a like, let me know actually if you're going to enjoy this franchise mode. I had over 132 votes yes, or something stupid like that, for an NHL 21 franchise mode. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here it is, the Edmonton Oilers franchise mode in NHL 21. Actually, there's one last thing. I did get a couple of guys back onto the Oilers roster, that being a guy like Ostap Safin, a guy elsewhere in there, Dylan Wells. Yeah, we talked about those guys in the ratings update this morning. Well, you know what? I got them onto the roster. Hopefully everything works here. Bear with me, and we'll be good to go. So loading in, let's get this underway and get this rolling because it's going to be a good time to just kind of, see, maybe put me on the spot and see what kind of general manager I would be in place of Ken Holland. Everybody thinks I've either got it right or got it wrong, and nobody agrees quite fully. Well, let's put it to the test and get this going for franchise mode. So build your dynasty. That's exactly what we're going to do here in episode 1 is get the dynasty started. The Edmonton Oilers, a total team budget of $97.445 million. The only thing we have to do when we get in there is sign Ethan Bear to a contract extension, and you're going to see just how this works. So, stacking up in the Pacific Division, the Edmonton Oilers work out to be the best team, tied with the Vegas Golden Knights in overall when it comes to the Pacific Division, and realistically across the board, the Edmonton Oilers are one of the top tier teams outside of Washington, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Toronto in the East. We are, I guess St. Louis and Winnipeg. Can't forget about those guys, can you? I guess we are a top tier contender in this franchise mode right out of the gate, as we are every season in the NHL if we live up to our potential. Owner mode, I have no interest in being the owner of the Oilers. I have all interest in being the GM. We'll keep CPU trades on. Player morale, oh my goodness, that is just, it's a disaster to me. Fog of war, we'll scout our players, but we won't use Fog of War. And of course, take the head coach edits lines off, and away we go. Let's continue on. The one thing I always change, if you're looking for Tyson's hot tips on how to play franchise mode, you go into the gameplay sliders and you go down here to injury occurrence and you bring it down to about the 20 mark, because let me tell you, it is just a disaster if you have it up there at 50% for whatever reason. We're going to go up and increase shooting here. So let me see, where is it? First off, fatigue effect, injury occurrence, that's all right. shooting. We want to see if that impacts the Edmonton Oilers simming, because the problem I always find with Oilers GM modes is that Connor McDavid can never score more than 40 goals a season and can never get more than 82 points a season. So we want to see that, make sure it gets correct, and watch him score 100 plus points a season and win a couple Art Ross trophies along the way, right? So there we go. We won't worry too much about slap shots, pass, puck control, goalies, checking, penalties, AI, and I think we are good to go, because that all adjusts if we're playing the in-game stuff, which we are not. Advanced settings, is this where I want to be? Head coach at lines playable. We want to go fully healed. We don't want guys coming back injury prone, and that really helps with making sure your goalies are good too. That's the problem. And this setting controls the frequency of a strong draft class occurring. When set to high, stronger draft classes are generated more often. You know what? Let's have a little bit of fun with it, right? Generated prospect quality, sure. Sim engine shot frequency. The frequency of shots when set to high, more shots are likely to occur. We want that to happen. Yeah, we want more goals out of Connor McDavid, 100%. Season tiebreak, authentic. Head coach firing pop-up, trade notification turn on, gameplay waivers, and retired jerseys, blockbuster trade alerts. We are good to go right there. So, Sim engine scoring. No, we aren't. Sim engine scoring. We need to get this going there and play high. Perfect. Sim engine scoring, good to go. So shot frequency, sim engine scoring all the way up. Let's see what Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers can do here in franchise mode. I'll have to call Budsy back. He just got off work. He's got some sweet ideas going for me at the print shop, so we'll see what happens there. Keep salary cap on. Absolutely. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure we get that going, because that's the unique challenge of running the Edmonton Oilers any year, especially if you're Ken Holland this year, is the salary cap. So you might notice, you might be thinking, hey Tyson, how the heck is it you're drinking the same coffee cup from yesterday? I'm just giving you a story while we load here. I went back down to the cafe. Had to go get myself another coffee. It was so good the last time. I got the salted or just the caramel latte flavor last time. Well, I got the Irish cream flavor. That's my sucker, like, go-to latte flavor, and here we go. I got another one today. So, Connor McDavid ready to go, and we are in to our Edmonton Oilers franchise mode here. And we are a buyer. Team status already set to buyer. Let's take a look at what the lines are stacking up to be. Should be the exact same as we had earlier today. Head coach, stay off. So we've got a couple of guys all the way around the roster here. And of course, you got Connor McDavid, Kyler Yamamoto, James Neal, Zach Kassian, Alex Chiasson, everybody in their defense. Well, that is because we have to sign. Yes, we have to sign our good friend Ethan Bear on the back end to be that third right D shot spot. So we go to roster moves. First thing we'll do is go all the way down to the bottom of the roster here. You see Alan Quine right there. You got to get rid of him. He's got to go down to the AHL. And we got to bring up in the system Chris Russell, because that's just the way it's got to go. Tyler Benson, Evan Bouchard, Cooper Marody for now will stay in the minors until we get a trade that is too good to resist. So Chris Russell up to the NHL. We got $1 million in cap space, so I don't know if that's actually going to work. So yeah, send down to minors, confirm, and away we go. Perfect, good to go. So Chris Russell back up to the NHL level for the Edmonton Oilers. And in there with Jesse Puljujärvi and all the boys at the bottom end of the roster. We've already gone through this earlier today. You can check that video out. It's linked in the comments. I meant to mention that earlier, but it is linked in the comments. So let's go to edit lines here quickly. And now we'll get a chance to take a look at the AHL lines and NHL lines. So Jujhar Khaira down there now is the fourth line center. We will fix that in a moment's time. Chris Russell slots in with Caleb Jones for now until we get Ethan Bear into the lineup. So quickly, let's go to the AHL, make sure the best lines are filled down there. And you're going to see Ryan Stanton draw in for the Bakersfield Condors, along with Keegan Lowe, who I just left there. And you've got Ryan Kuffner, who I forgot to get rid of, but we will simply trade him for a no-name prospect within an organization, and we'll get that going, and we'll just clean that up as quickly as we can. In terms of the net, I guess that's what I wanted to show you, is that I tried to clean this up as best I can. You've got Anton Forsberg and Stuart Skinner in net scratched. You've got Rodrigue, Wells, Sekinen, Safin is in here. Stukel's in here now. I believe we got rid of VC. Might have signed an AHL deal. I'm not 100% sure. Jake Kulovich is in here. You got Bo Starrett. I had to get Bo Starrett in here. You might make me get rid of Shane Starrett, but Bo Starrett, he's here. He's here. Theodore Lundstrom in there to play as well. So there is a lot of depth options at the NHL level. Scratched for the Oilers is Puljujärvi and Archibald. So now becomes the fun favorite time. I'm going to put my head coaching skills to task here and create a lineup that is capable of winning some hockey games right out of the gate for the Edmonton Oilers. So right there, already not much happening in terms of what I want to happen. So we'll get Tyler Ennis. Nope, that's what I want. We'll get Joakim Nygard up there. We'll get this going here. Zach Kassian. Ooh, actually, hold on. Look at that. That +3 looks nice and dandy. So we will save that +3 right there for now. And the only thing we have to do is figure out who's getting scratched for yes, Puljujärvi. And I think that's a pretty simple answer. You got to go with Mr. Zach Kassian getting scratched. You see it's a -2 line there for those guys. That's probably not efficient. I like this line in real life, Turris, Ennis, and Puljujärvi, but they're saying that's not going to work for us in real life here in the NHL video games. So what do? I think you keep Puljujärvi there, and you just simply make do with it. You see, all of a sudden you can get Tyler Ennis up there instead of Joakim Nygard and balance it out. And that, you know what, we'll do that. I am open to that in real life as well, so we'll keep it right there and we'll make that work. Until we can get Ethan Bear in the lineup, we won't worry too much about the defense, and away you go. So we'll worry about the power play in a moment's time as well when we get Ethan Bear back into the fold. So that means to the contract section we go. And main roster, no, we want in the system. We've got 47 of 50 contracts signed with $1.7 million in cap space. Right, because Oscar Klefbom, you can't throw him on LTIR in this video game. So you got to go out of your way and find a trade for somebody, and that's exactly where we'll go. Hello, have you guys been paying attention to Dolynny TV at all recently? What do I keep saying? We got to trade somebody here before the start of the season, and obviously we're in before the start of the season here in this franchise mode. The two names I mentioned, Kara, Chiasson, 1.2 million, 2.1 million. So let's get to it. We are going to go out and trade Jujhar Khaira. If he is on the list here, he is. Center left wing combo. The fun, beautiful part of this game is you can hit X to add asset and then go find trade and find a trade for Jujhar Khaira. And look at that. It's like I know what I'm talking about. 7th round picks all around for Jujhar Khaira, except for the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are offering 2 second-round picks for Jujhar Khaira. So we'll keep that in mind for right now. There is another option you can use, and that is the find trade via the open block. And you've got Jordan Osterley, who the Oilers could bring back in that trade. Carolina's 7th-round pick. Joakim Ryan from the Carolina Hurricanes. Bring back Sam Gagner from the Detroit Red Wings. Well, problem is that technically doesn't solve the cap space problem, right? And that's what we're talking about. When we really talk about the Edmonton Oilers getting rid of either Jujhar Khaira or Alex Chiasson, it's to solve the salary cap problem. So there is no better solution here than 7th round picks from the Pittsburgh Penguins 2021 and 2022. Away we go. We get our first trade under the belt. You're ready for it. Controllers up, accept trades on, and away we go. Jujhar Khaira now a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that frees up $1.2 million in cap space to sign Ethan Bear to a contract. So once again, let's go over to view contracts, go into the system, and see what Ethan Bear is asking in terms of a 1-year deal. So this is not exactly what I've been telling you it's going to be, but at the end of the day, it is what the ask is. We've got $2.27 million in cap space, and well, $1.975 for Ethan Bear. I think a lot of us would agree, based on what happened last year for him, that is not a big ask. That is a pretty reasonable ask. A 1-year deal and a top 4 D-man at 24 years old, next free agency period. We will negotiate then, and that is the one thing I've remained to see if the salary cap goes up in this franchise mode. So we will offer the contract to Ethan Bear. He's considering his options, and he'll get back to us later. He'll be in Bakersfield to start. We'll figure out that situation, and we'll move somebody as need be. So we get into the simulation part first, which is so much faster than it was in years previous. We'll go through the first 2 preseason games here. New salary cap, 81.5. That is by no means a shock to any of us. Bang, right there. The Oilers get a trade offer, a 3rd-round pick and a 6th-round pick for Tyler Benson and a 4th-round pick. That's an easy decline trade there for a 78 overall youngster on the farm club. All of a sudden, you've got the New York Rangers coming in and offering trades. Ethan Bear accepts the money, and away we go with a 5-2 win against the Arizona Coyotes as well. So 6 goals in 2 games. Connor McDavid leading the way with 3 points in preseason action. You love to see it. Absolutely you do. So let's get to it, shall we? This is what I've promised you this entire time in the system. Ethan Bear multi-select to the NHL. Finish and call up. And there we go. Against the salary cap, we've got .297 in cap space. Look at this. See? Okay. So far, I've been confident. This is more than I expected out of myself. All right? I guess that's how I'll put it. This is more than I expected out of myself to this point. I did the research, got the job done, and here we are finding ourselves 17 minutes into a franchise mode without dropping any big bombs on myself and screwing this franchise mode up before it even gets underway. That I am proud of myself for. So, let's get to it. Let's actually set this team up the way they are designed to succeed. You see, yeah, sure, we've got everybody going. Tyler Ennis, no points. Alex Chiasson, 3 points there. Kyler Yamamoto, an assist. Leon Draisaitl, a goal. But why is this team not doing crazy things? Well, it's because of the power play, right? So Tyson Barrie on his offside for the one-timers. Draisaitl back there. Kyler Yamamoto up there. So you know what? We'll change things around here a little bit. We'll get them going. Draisaitl there. We're going to spread out the offense a little bit. And you see how that all of a sudden creates line fits and a +1 and a +1. I by no means am a chemistry expert. If somebody can guide me through it in the comments, that would be greatly appreciated. But you look at this Oilers secondary power play, it suddenly looks much better. Alex Chiasson on there. I'm sure we can do something a little bit better than that. How about Jesse Puljujärvi to get him some power play time? And I'd like to see maybe, so we've got right-hand shot, right-hand shot, right-hand shot, left-hand shot, left-hand shot. Darnell Nurse, does he need power play time? Not really. Oscar Klefbom does. So you go to the old right wing here. Oh, those guys don't need power play time. Centerman, those guys don't need power play time. Tyler Ennis, does he need power play time? You know what? If he's going to be on the top line with Connor McDavid, absolutely. And that still maintains consistency and keeps our +1s across the board. 4-man power plays, you know what? I'm not too set on this stuff here, as it doesn't look like it's doing much of anything. Draisaitl in place of Turris doesn't do what we need it to do, and that really costs us there. So let me see if that does anything. That does nothing. So I wonder if you go with Draisaitl there in place. There we go. That gets us to 0s across the board. That looks good. We'll get Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in place, and that sets up the 4-man power play pretty well. And then you've got the penalty kill. Jesse Puljujärvi in there at center. Well, we want to get Gaetan Haas in there because Jesse Puljujärvi, his defensive awareness is a total of an 82 overall. That's not bad, all right? We could be worse, could be better, but we'll deal with that as it goes. We'll get Oh, you got so many options, right? You got to get Ryan Nugent-Hopkins up there. I think. What do we have for penalty killers on the right wing, right? James Neal's not going to do it. Zach Kassian's not going to do it. So you don't exactly have many better options than throwing a Gaetan out there to kill penalties. Right now, Chris Russell on the back end in terms of penalty killing. So let me get distracted for a moment and get Ethan Bear in there, because suddenly things will make more sense having Ethan Bear get into the defensive side of the puck, and that does nothing. So back to the special teams as we go to the penalty kill. Ethan Bear all of a sudden detracts from that, so you have to go down here. That fixed that. Tyson Barrie, 87 defensive awareness in NHL 21. So you know what? This guy's going to be capable of playing some defense for us. We'll take it. Darnell Nurse rated at 88. That's solid. Oscar Clefbaum at 88, and Ethan Bear rated at 87. So we got our defenders going to work on the penalty kill. The penalty kill looking actually very solid. I'm wondering, 82 defensive awareness. Do we have anybody that has better defensive awareness? 83 for Zach Kassian. Kyler Yamamoto's up there at 84, but he's already playing power play time. Alex Chiasson's at 85. So you know what? Let's get Alex Chiasson out there killing penalties. See what happens. I guess that's the question, right? But see, that still doesn't create that fit we'd like to see. So I wonder if you go across to other lines, right? You've got Joakim Nygard there, Tyler Ennis at 83. Down the middle, centerman, you just don't have any other options to use. Connor McDavid, you could use him on the penalty kill, 93 defensive awareness. But do we really want Connor playing that many minutes a night? No, you want him in the offensive situations. James Neal, 81 defensive awareness. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if throwing out Kyler Yamamoto does anything. I know he's on the power play too. That does nothing. So, question remains. If we go here, that gets Kyle Turris there. And what if we go with Alex Chiasson on the second penalty kill unit with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? That gets us more defensive awareness, at least on this penalty kill. So we'll try it. We'll try it, and hopefully we'll see it pay off next episode. This is an absolute mess here. So let's get over to the centerman and get, you know what, 3-man penalty kill. You got to get Leon Draisaitl out there. That's where he belongs, and he does very well with. So I don't get what the penalty kill problems are. So maybe it's not Leon Draisaitl we want out there. Let's try a centerman in Kyle Turris, who will kill more penalties. That gets it down to a -1. And you see right here, you get Oscar Clefbaum out there. That gets it up to, you know what? Yeah, sure, that'll work. Zeros will work across the board. Gaetan in there with Clefbaum and Bear. Can we not do better? Can we maybe throw Connor McDavid on a 3-man penalty kill? No, we can't. Can't do that. Let's see if throwing Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, forget about him. Too many center options on this Oilers team. Ethan Bear, just really not meant to kill penalties. And I mean, you should have Adam Larsson out there at some point. So let's see, what does that do for us? That does nothing there for us. That gets us down to a -1. Actually, hold on. What did that do for us? That gets them down to a -1. And that gets it down to, right there, that takes it to a 0. -1. That is about as good as you can set it up unless I'm missing something. Let me go back to the penalty kill here for a second and see if we can get, yes, Adam Larsson in there to change things up. That does nothing. That does nothing. It takes it to both zeros. So look at that. We're solid. We're good as it stands. Extras, 3-on-3 lines. Yeah, there isn't much messing with all this other than the fact that we have to get Jesse Puljujärvi out there on the right wing with Kyle Turris on the third line. So there you go. That takes care of that. Shootout lineup. Yeah, shootout lineup. Let's get it going. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. That's self-explanatory. Extra attacker. Yeah, that's pretty actually, that's not self-explanatory because we don't want our top lines out there as is. So Connor McDavid, if he's not out there, we want to get Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is out there, right? That would make sense. Yeah, that's who we want out there. So I think we are good. I think we're gold. I think we've got everything we need. Mikko Koskinen, the #1 guy for us. Absolutely no doubt about it. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are primed to start this franchise mode next episode, yes sirree, next episode we will start this franchise mode with the Edmonton Oilers, and away we will go when it comes down to getting this thing underway for the Edmonton Oilers and, well, the quest to become a dynasty once again. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 1 of the NHL 21 Edmonton Oilers franchise mode here on Dolynny TV. I will catch you in episode 2 coming soon.